Hey guys, this is Arun,
And this is Abby.
and welcome back to a brand new episode of Fill Your Pockets. Today's episode will be August the 11th, and just a quick recap. Yesterday, we went 1-0 with our plays. We had a parlay, two-team parlay for yesterday's plays. We had the San Francisco Giants, and we had the Dodgers. The Giants game, that game was a sweater. Abhishek would recap that game in a few moments, but that game was too close. But eventually, the Giants came up with the win, and we won our parlay. And quickly, we'll recap Monday's games. Monday, we had a two-team parlay. We had the Cincinnati Reds take and the White Sox. The Cincinnati Reds were the losers in our parlay, but the White Sox won their game. That day we went 0-1. I believe for the season we are 13-7, 13
Nine.
and 8,
Nine.
13-9. Still above 500. Still doing pretty good. Hopefully we could finish the week strong and build off the momentum from yesterday. Abhishek, do you want to quickly recap the games from yesterday, the two games?
Yes, everyone, thanks. Before we get into yesterday, I'll just go over Monday because we didn't get a chance to record yesterday.
Hmm.
So Monday, obviously, as Arun mentioned, White Sox, they handled business. They dogged the Twins as we thought. The Reds, I don't know what the hell happened. Castillo, who was pitching for the Reds, looked like he was lost. That man, he didn't have it. Every inning he pitched, he gave up a run at least, and then that game was over right there. Now we get to yesterday. The Dodgers. That game got kind of dangerous because there was a huge. Obviously, there was weather delays all over the northeast side of the country, to be honest. But in Philadelphia, it just started pouring for 2 hours. There was a rain delay, and we were watching a fantastic pitching matchup between Scherzer and Nola. And obviously, 2 hours is it was nearly 2 hours the rain delay, so those pitchers were done. They're not going to pitch again. And then it became a battle of the bullpens, and the score was 0-0 when the game resumed. So it was okay. Who has a better relief pitching? And the Dodgers won that, and 5-0. Dodgers came up with some big hits. Corey Knebel, he came back from the injured list. He's been out for a long time, and he came out and he had two big outs against Harper and against Real Muto, and that's all it was. The Phillies couldn't capitalize, and the Dodgers did 5-0, and they won yesterday. And then we get to the Giants game, as Arun mentioned. That's a sweater. That shit was ridiculous. That was so unnecessary, in my opinion. Nothing's easy in this world. It isn't. Just when you think the game's over, it's not. 5-0, then 5-5 in one inning. It's just how it is. It was ridiculous. Then the Giants come back, make it 7-5, and then the Arizona Diamondbacks come back and make it 7-7. And then the final out of the ninth inning, Chris Bryant, the new Giant himself, huge hit, walk-off, his first walk-off as a Giant. What a moment for him. And they won. That's all that matters. They won. The better team won. The better team found a way to win. And the worst team found a way to lose. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And that's all we cared about because we needed both those teams to win. And they both did. Plus 138 odds we had. And I will take that any day of the week.
All right, so let's jump in today's episode. Hopefully, we could go off the momentum from yesterday and continue this little win streak we have. But today we'll be going over three games. A lot of games on tonight's slate, but we'll be previewing three games for today's episode. The first game of the night, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, 7 o'clock Eastern game on ESPN. Right now, the Dodgers are leading the season series 3-1. This line is moving already. It opened up for the Dodgers at -170. Now it's sitting at -135. Philadelphia opened up at +150. Now they're sitting at +115, 120. Abhishek, first game of the night, Dodgers versus Phillies. Who you got?
Oh, I'm feeling upset special. It's not a huge upset, but it's going to be an upset in my opinion. Phillies plus 115, depends on where you can get it, as Arun mentioned. But the Phillies are the underdogs here. I don't know why they are. It should be more even money in my opinion because the Dodgers, David Price is pitching. Phillies, Gibson's pitching for them. Their biggest acquisition during the trade deadline. For the Dodgers, David Price used to be one of the best pitchers in baseball. He no longer is. He's still decent, but he can't. He has not pitched more than 5 innings in any game because he was coming out of the bullpen. Then all the stuff happened with Trevor Bauer. A couple guys got injured for the Dodgers, and then he had to become a starter again. So the max he'll pitch in this game is 4 to 5 innings. They just played a bullpen game yesterday with all their best relievers pitching for the Dodgers. So who is going to be available for the Dodgers today once David Price leaves? And David Price, even when he has pitched, he hasn't been amazing. He's been okay. He's been decent for them. So Gibson, he's started twice for the Phillies since he got traded from the Rangers. Won both those starts. I understand it was against the Pirates and it was against the Mets, who are not the most offensively talented teams, but you can only go off of who you play. He played against both of them, one on the road, one at home, and he won both those starts, 6 innings plus in both starts. And unlike the Dodgers, the Phillies didn't use their best arms yesterday. Their best relievers did not pitch yesterday. So if Gibson does get in trouble or if it's a close game, the Phillies right now would have the advantage because their relievers are not taxed as much as the Dodgers from yesterday's rain-delayed game. So when you put all that into consideration, I would take the Phillies in this matchup. I would not take the run. I would not take the run line. I would take the Phillies to win straight up. Plus 115. Starting pitching goes to the Phillies, in my opinion. If you ask me which team's bats are better, the Dodgers are the best. So I'm not going to take that away from them. Even though the Phillies are hot, they won 8 out of 9 games. They were on an 8-game winning streak before yesterday's loss. So the Phillies they're feeling pretty good about themselves right now. They're in the division. They're atop the division right now. They took the lead from the Mets. The Braves are coming. But right now, this is their time. They have to win these games. Each game for the Phillies is monumental because it's a 1-2 game lead over the Braves and over the Mets. So they have not wrapped up anything. So with all that said, if you take starting pitching, I take the Phillies. If you take the offense, I'll take the Dodgers. And then if you take the bullpen, the relievers, it's hard to say, but I would take the Phillies. So 2 out of 3 goes to the Phillies. If I'm picking this game, I would take the Phillies. Plus 115. That is great odds for me. At home underdogs in baseball usually do pretty well. So, yeah.
All right, so Abhishek, first game of the day, he's going with a upset. He's going with the Phillies. Can't blame him there. This line is moving, so Vegas must know something that we don't. Second game of the night, we have the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Atlanta Braves. They just played yesterday. I think the Braves won yesterday,
Yep.
3-2. Really close game. Right now, the Braves are also leading the season series, 3-2. This line, it's both teams are pretty even, just like yesterday. You could find Cincinnati at plus 105 odds on DraftKings, and you can find the Braves minus 125 odds on DraftKings as well. So, Abhishek, second game of the night, Cincinnati Reds versus the Atlanta Braves. 7 o'clock game. Who you got?
Ooh, these Reds have done me well this year. They did me dirty on Monday. They did us dirty on Monday, but it happens. It's a long season. But overall, these Reds have done me a lot of good stuff. In my opinion, they've made me some money, and I hope they've made everyone some money. And today, we got Wade Miley pitching for the Reds. We got Toussaint pitching for the Braves. Wade Miley has basically been the ace for the Reds this season. He has been their best pitcher, even at his advanced age. Lefty. For this matchup, I would say the Reds. I gotta take the Reds here because Toussaint, he's been good. He came off the injured list. He started off amazing his first 2 starts. Then he got smashed by Milwaukee at home, and then he played St. Louis. Was shaky in that start, and St. Louis can't really score. So what that tells me is the Reds have lost 2 in a row, but 2 games is not enough of a sample to discredit all the stuff that they were doing prior to that. The Reds' offense is significantly better than the Braves' offense because the Braves, Acuna, out for the year, and their bats are just like yesterday, 2-3. That's how the Braves are winning right now. They're winning 1-run games, 2-run games, close games. They're not blowing people out really. And based off of yesterday and this weekend, the Braves bullpen we keep going to the bullpen because that's what matters. Because once the starter leaves, you gotta take all that into consideration. The Braves bullpen: Will Smith, Jackson, Rodriguez. They've all been used a lot over the weekend and yesterday. The Reds got blown out on Monday, so that helped them out. And yesterday, they didn't use all their top guys either. So when I'm looking at starting pitching, got to give it to the Reds. When I'm looking at the offense, the lineup, got to give it to the Reds because they score. They're one of the best teams in baseball in scoring. And then also when you look at the Braves offense, they're 19th in OPS versus lefty pitching. That is not good. There's only 11 teams worse than them. So, and Wade Miley is a fantastic lefty pitcher also. And then we get to the bullpen, as I mentioned. Overall, which bullpen is better? It's not even close. The Braves bullpen is better. But based off of usage and based off of who could be available tonight, I would have to give it to the Reds. 3-0 for the Reds. Plus, as Arun mentioned, you could get plus 105. Some places it's minus. It's basically the Reds are not favored in this game. So theoretically, we could be looking at 2 straight upsets here. Hopefully, we already went over the Phillies game with the Dodgers. And now, yeah, the Reds. Plus
All right, so the
105. We'll
second
see
game
where
of
the
the
line
night.
goes.
Yeah. So you really like the Reds this season, huh? They let us down that Monday, but
The
Abhishek is
Reds have
gonna.
let me down a couple times. I remember sometimes, yeah, Monday was one. A couple
Uh-huh.
times they've done it, but the Reds overall, man,
They've been good.
they've yeah,
Yeah.
they've done us and me specifically well.
All right, so let's move on to the third game of the night. We have the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago Cubs. 8 o'clock game. Right now, the Brewers are killing the Cubs in the season series, 11-3. Um, this line is also moving. Um, Milwaukee opened up at minus 140. Right now, FanDuel, DraftKings, they have them around 270, 260, minus 260. So this line has moved tremendously. And the Chicago Cubs are obviously the underdogs. They opened up at 120. Now it's sitting at 220. So Abhishek, final game that we're previewing, Brewers versus Cubs. Who you got?
This is like that picture that's on the internet. If you look up Michael Jordan versus Muggsy Bogues, this is what that picture is basically, bro. This is ridiculous. This matchup is a mismatch of epic proportions. Yesterday at night, I kind of regret not taking the game because of that minus 140. I'm like, do I know something that Vegas or these sports books don't know? Like, are you seeing this pitching matchup? And apparently, when I woke up, Vegas and everybody else caught on because this shit got bet up nearly double what the line was already. Like Arun mentioned, minus 260, minus 280 some places.
Yep.
So we got Brewers at Cubs, obviously rivalry. This is like I would say the G League version of the Cubs because they trade away their best players. We've went over this repeatedly on this show. And the Brewers yesterday they played a doubleheader against the Cubs. They beat them both times, and that was out. That was without their best pitcher, and that's going to be their case today. The Brewers, Corbin Burns, he's been one of their top guys this season. And then we get to the Cubs, who are going to throw out one of the worst pitchers in baseball this season, Jake Arrieta. Hey, 6 years ago, he was one of the biggest reasons why the Cubs won the World Series. Fast forward 6 years, he has just been awful. In his last 7 starts, he's giving up nearly 10 runs per game, per start. 10 runs is his ERA. So
Wow.
he has not made it past 4 innings since June. And that is just listen, I can't see any way where any person can even give me an argument where they can favor the Cubs in the situation. Their lineup is decimated, as we've mentioned, all the trades that happened, and they're pitching doubleheader yesterday, so they used their best relievers, and so did Milwaukee. But overall, when you're looking at it, Jake Arrieta has been completely awful. His last home start, he gave up 7 runs in 1.5 innings. Like, bro, I have nothing. Like, he's lost it. I don't even think he should be a starter anymore. But the Cubs, they got to throw someone out there, and that's why they're throwing him out there, I guess. They paid him whatever amount of money they paid him. He's a professional. He has to earn a living. Brewers, they just caught some. I mean, they just caught some luck because the Reds lost 2 games in a row, and the Brewers won 2 straight games. So now their lead over the Reds grows a little bit, but still, it's not anything monumental. The Reds can still come back and try to get the division. So the Brewers have to still continue to win games here. Obviously, minus 260, minus 280. There's no way anyone's taking that line. That's ridiculous. I would actually think about taking minus 1.5 because I don't see any way the Cubs keep this close. Anyway, because this pitching, the Brewers should score at least, if Arrieta pitches at least 5 innings or 4 innings, the Brewers should score 5 runs to 6 runs easy. Then the backups come in. This should be a monumental blowout, in my opinion. So if we were picking this game, because money line is out of the question, it's way too pricey, unless the line goes down, and then maybe you can parlay it. So we'll obviously tell everyone that on our IG story and our feed. But for right now, if you maybe pick this game, Brewers, no doubt, minus 1.5 would be the play here because I don't see any way this game is close.
All right, guys. So the last game of the night, we're gonna lean towards the Brewers. It's a no-brainer. You could also take the run spread minus 1.5, but it is minus 160 odds for that. So not the best odds for that as well. But
Even with the minus 1.5, the odds aren't great.
yeah.
So I would actually say, you know what? If the line doesn't go down, just stay away from this game because we all know who's going to win. In my opinion, this is the biggest mismatch today. This is one of the biggest mismatches I've seen in recent memory. But yeah, like Arun said, if it's 160, it's not worth it.
Yeah. So final plays. We'll be back on the Instagram page. So make sure you stay tuned to our page, and hopefully on this lovely Wednesday, we can help you fill your pockets. And happy gambling. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace out.